Hello guys, I hope you all are fine. So we discussed in the previous video modules 8 of part 1, and in this video we'll look into the module 8 and part 2. Module 8 is role play and phone communications questions. Part 2, developing phone communication interview. Section 1, about of phone communication interview process. Section 2, flowchart of phone communication interview techniques. Section 3, explanation of flowchart on interview communication. So in this video, we will learn Module 8, Part 2, Section 1, Section 2, and Section 3. We'll move to the next slide. Part 2 is Developing Phone Communication Interview, Section 1, About of Phone Communication Interview Process. The candidate will be capable to attend the interview via telephone or phone communication. Sometimes the organization will require to hire the candidate that test the preliminary test for the candidate abroad. The interviewer will check the skills of the candidate, mostly first level round of interviews with phone communication, and if the interviewer is satisfied with the candidate, then the candidate will be called for the second round of the interview, either technical or management level, as per the requirement expected from the organization. So section 1 is talking about the first level of evolution done by the organization via the phone or mobile communications. If some organizations, either is public sector or private sector, are in the different state and candidates are the different states, the communications will be problem to make a interview in the one place or at the venue place. So once the organization will be looking for the immediate joiner, he will be going through the telephonic round of interview. So telephonic round or phone communication interview is the only first level of evolution to check the eligibility of the candidate to fit in the requirement of the company. Once the candidates are satisfied by the organization, then the company or organization will be called to that selected person for the second level of the interview will be happen by the physical, or it will be as per the expected requirement announced by the organization. So we'll move to the next level, next slide. Section 2, flowchart of phone communication interview techniques. So immediately we see that phone communication mandatory follow-up. The left side, we see the phone to be charged and camera working conditions. So sometimes what happened that the organization, the company will be calling the candidate via the phone, and the phone that time it should be charged, and then only the communications bandwidth will be for the half an hour at least, or 1 hour as per the requirement of the company. So here the candidate must charge his or her phone to before attending the interview via the phone or telephonic. Second is phone to be connected to the headphone. Once candidates are communicating via the phone, then he should have or she should have the headphone connected with the phone to listen properly and delivering his or her speech clearly to the interviewer so the interviewer can listen the proper sound from the phone. And third is phone to be in good conditions. Phone to be good condition in the sense of some of the time the phone will work, not work, or it will be some network problem or some mobile issues. uh, so which will make a barrier between the candidate and the interview panel, which leads to be rejected by the interview panel. Fourth is phone to be used in silent environment. Whenever any meeting, whenever any interview with the phone for both the side, the candidate must be in a silent place so that only the communication will be exchanged between them to understand each other and deliver the answer, and the answer will be understood by the interview panel. So here phone communication mandatory follow. Having candidate must follow the four categories of the phone communication mandatory follow. We'll go for next slide. Section 3, explanation of the flowchart on the interview communications. So this explanation is related to the previous video, and these four categories are explained here. The candidate will follow four main categories during the interview. The first category of needed is phone to be charged and camera working condition means that the candidate will be ready to attend the interview via phone and prior phone to be charged properly, and if the interviewer asks to be on the camera, then the candidate will be ready to on the camera and communicate properly. The second category of needed is phone to be connected to the headphone means that candidate will be ready with a headphone connected in an interview phone call. There should not be disconnected headphones during the interview call. The third category of needed is phone to be used in a silent environment means that candidate is available in a silent place. There should not be any noise around the interview. The last fourth category of needed is phone to be in good condition means that the candidate will keep the phone in good condition, like there should not be any mobile audio problem or very low network detection or phone hung conditions. The interviewer to check the way of the communication the candidate handle the interview. If the interviewer thinks that the candidate maintained a good environment with the phone communication, it is a good sign that the candidate can clear the first round of the interview successfully. So this is all the talking about the all four categories should be followed when the candidates is going to attend any phone communication interview. Now we'll move to the next slide. And we have covered the end of module 8 and part 2, module 8 role play and phone communication questions. We have covered part 2, developing phone communication interview. We have completed section 1 about a phone communication interview process. We have covered section 2, flowchart of phone communication interview techniques. Section 3, explanation of flowchart on interview communications. So in this video, we have completed and we covered the module 8, part 2, section 1, section 2, and section 3. And in the next video, we will look into that module 9 of the part 1. Thank you.